The Walking Dead, Season 3, Episode 6, Hounded. Episode 6 of The Walking Dead Season 3, Hounded, continues to explore the fractured paths of the characters, focusing on Rick's fragile mental state, Michonne's survival instincts, and the growing tension between Woodbury and the prison. This episode deepens the emotional and narrative stakes, introducing key conflicts and alliances that drive the season forward. Plot summary: Rick's descent into grief. Rick, Andrew Lincoln, remains isolated in the prison, consumed by grief over Lori's death. He continues to hear mysterious phone calls, believing they are real. On the line, various voices claim to be from a safe community. As Rick speaks to them, he slowly realizes that the voices belong to people he's lost, including Lori, Amy, and Jim. The phone calls serve as a manifestation of Rick's guilt and grief, culminating in an emotional moment where he breaks down, admitting that he failed to protect his family. This revelation marks a turning point for Rick, as he begins to confront his pain and re-engage with the group. Michonne vs. Merle. Michonne, Denai Guerrera, remains near Woodbury, continuing her fight for survival. While scavenging, she is ambushed by a group of the governor's men, led by Merle Dixon, Michael Rooker. Using her resourcefulness and combat skills, Michonne kills two of Merle's men and wounds another, forcing Merle to retreat. During the battle, Michonne is injured but manages to escape into the woods, proving her resilience and determination. This encounter further establishes Merle as a dangerous and relentless adversary, while showcasing Michonne's unyielding spirit. Andrea and the Governor. Back in Woodbury, Andrea, Lori Holden, grows closer to the Governor, David Morrissey, despite Michonne's earlier warnings. The Governor continues to charm Andrea, inviting her to participate in the town's activities, including helping guard the walls. Andrea expresses discomfort with the gladiator-style walker fights but gradually begins to accept the Governor's leadership. Her growing trust in him highlights her vulnerability and her longing for stability, even as the Governor's true nature remains hidden. Glenn and Maggie's supply run. At the prison, Glenn Reed, Stephen Young, and Maggie Grain, Lauren Cohan, are tasked with a supply run to gather formula and food for Lori's baby. While out, they are ambushed by Merle, who demands they take him to the prison. When Glenn refuses, Merle takes both of them hostage and brings them back to Woodbury, intending to interrogate them about Rick's group. This development intensifies the conflict between Woodbury and the prison, setting the stage for a confrontation. Michonne reaches the prison. Injured and weary, Michonne arrives at the prison with supplies she scavenged from the area. She observes Rick and the others from a distance but does not initially approach them. Her arrival marks a turning point, as she represents a bridge between the prison group and the looming threat of Woodbury. Key themes and elements. Grief and mental health. Rick's phone calls symbolize his internal struggle with guilt and loss, offering a haunting look at the psychological toll of the apocalypse. Survival and trust. Michonne's battle with Merle and her eventual arrival at the prison highlight the challenges of survival and the difficulty of trusting others in a dangerous world. Power and manipulation. The Governor's manipulation of Andrea underscores his ability to maintain control through charm and deception, masking his darker intentions. Conflict and alliance. Merle's kidnapping of Glenn and Maggie and Michonne's arrival at the prison set the stage for an inevitable clash between Rick's group and Woodbury. Character development. Rick Grimes. Rick's struggle with grief and his realization of the phone call's true nature mark an important step in his emotional recovery and leadership. Michonne's resourcefulness and determination are on full display, solidifying her as a powerful and independent character. Andrea's growing connection to the Governor highlights her vulnerability and her desire for security, even at the cost of ignoring warning signs. The Governor continues to manipulate those around him, revealing his cunning and strategic nature. Merle Dixon. Merle's ambush of Glenn and Maggie showcases his loyalty to the Governor and his dangerous unpredictability. Memorable moments. Rick's emotional breakdown during the phone calls, a poignant moment of self-reflection and grief. Michonne's intense battle with Merle and his men, a thrilling and action-packed sequence. Andrea's growing involvement in Woodbury, highlighting her conflicting emotions and the Governor's influence. Merle's capture of Glenn and Maggie, a shocking twist that raises the stakes for both groups. Michonne's arrival at the prison, a moment that foreshadows new alliances and conflicts. Conclusion. Hounded is a gripping and emotionally charged episode that balances character development with escalating tension. Rick's descent into grief, Michonne's fierce determination, and the looming conflict between Woodbury and the prison make this installment a pivotal chapter in The Walking Dead Season 3. With its mix of action, suspense, and emotional depth, the episode sets the stage for dramatic confrontations and shifting alliances.